Do you have all the time and money that you want to have? Doing what you're doing right now, will it give you the time and the money that you really want to have? These are good questions to ask ourselves. Many people have been working somewhere for 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 years and still do not have the time and money that they really want to have. If you're one of these people, have you ever asked yourself the question, what are you going to do different? What are you going to do different? If I'm going to have something that I've never had, I'm probably going to have to be willing to do something that I've never done. And namely, if we want time and money, and that's something that we've never had, we're definitely going to have to be willing to do something that we've never done. Because most people will get up and they'll go to a job year after year after year, but it doesn't take very long for them to top out, and they're not making any more money, and they're really not gaining any of their time back, because a lot of our jobs are so time demanding. So, once again, we just have to keep asking ourselves, are we willing to do something different so that we can have the time and the money that we really want to have? If you did have the time and the money that you really wanted to have, what would you do with it? What kind of places would you go? What kind of lifestyle would you live? What would change if time and money were not an object to you? What would you do? Would you clear your debt? 86% of the people that we have in the United States of America today go to a job that they don't even like. And mainly because we are in debt. And once we are in debt, we're a slave to that debt. Now we have a responsibility to pay it off. Even though many, many times people will go to their grave having never paid all of their debt off. 85% of the people that own a home in the United States of America will go to their grave having never paid that home off, because they will remortgage that house. They will refinance that house over and over again just so they can have some extra money. Are you one of those people? I had to look at that myself, and I personally did not want to be one of those statistics. So one of the first things that I really wanted to do, I wanted to make enough money that I could clear my debt. If time and money were not an object to you, would you clear your debts? And would you like to make enough money that you could pay cash and not go in debt again? If time and money were not an object, what kind of vehicle would you drive? Do you have a dream vehicle in mind? Is there something that you've always said in the back of your mind that if I just had enough money, I would drive this vehicle? I want a truck, or I want a car. It could be a sports car. It could be a big sedan. It could be any number of vehicles, whatever your dream would be. Maybe a big motor coach just to travel around the United States or Canada and to check out all the wonderful and beautiful places that you've always wanted to go. But if time and money were not an object to you, and you knew there was not going to be a car payment, that you could just literally go down and pay cash for that vehicle, which vehicle would it really be? The one that not the one you want to settle for, but the one that you really want. Also, if time and money were not an object to you, what about your dream home? Have you thought of the place that you would really want to live in? Have you thought about how many bedrooms it may have? Have you thought about how big the kitchen would be? Or have you thought about you wanted a movie room, actually a theater inside your house with theater type seating? Or maybe just to have a swimming pool in the back, or a big privacy fence on several acres. Or maybe you're one of those people that like to have 100 acres or 200 acres. You might like to have your own hunting lodge or a cabin on the lake. You're the only person that knows what your real true dream is. If you could choose the type of place that you wanted to live in and where you would want to live. So you have to think about these things, and you write them down, and then you have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to do something different so that I can have the house of my dreams, so that I can live out the way that I would really like to if time and money were not an object? What kind of vacations would I take? Where are the places that you would go? If time and money were available to you and you could go and stay as long as you wanted, knowing that you didn't have to come back because you did have the time that you wanted, where would you go? What kind of place would interest you so much that you've never been able to go to, that would just be the place of your dreams in the back of your mind that you've always said, oh, if I just had the money, this is where I would go. This is what I want to do. This is the kind of place. Is it in the mountains? Maybe it's down in a beautiful valley with a river flowing through it. Maybe you want to go visit the beach. Maybe you want to take a cruise ship and go off into some romantic place. You're the only person that knows the vacation of your dreams. But whatever that is, you've got to visualize it. And then you've got to ask yourself once again, am I willing to do something different so that I can take the kind of vacation that I've always wanted to take? If time and money were not an object to you, couldn't you not go to the restaurants and not have to worry about looking at the prices on the menu? If we've been working somewhere for 15 or 20 years, why are we still looking at the prices on the menu? There's something wrong with this picture. But if you can picture that you had the time freedom and the money freedom to do and pick and choose as you will, what kind of changes would be in your life and in your lifestyle? Just think of all the wonderful places that you would like to go and visit and see, and then ask yourself, is it really possible? What would you do? What about charities? Have you ever thought that you just wish you had the money to help someone out? Have you ever seen a family in need and you knew that if it were possible that you would go and that you would meet that need fully? Have you ever thought that there were times in your life when you saw someone that was suffering from some kind of sickness or illness, that if you just had the money that you would fund that research to help bring a cure for cancer or a cure for diabetes or many other things that people suffer from? What would you do if time and money were not an object to you? What kind of charities would you give to? What kind of people would you want to help? What kind of person could you be? And maybe you would just want to do it anonymously and out of the goodness of your heart not be known. But yet you do really, really, really want to help people. Maybe you go to a job every day that you don't particularly care for. I know that one of the statistics that I looked at said that 86% of the people that go to a job every day go to a job they don't even like, okay? 86%. Now that's a lot of people. You may be one of those people. How would you like to walk in one day and just fire your boss because you knew you did not need that income anymore? You had made that income on your own. And you could walk back in there and say, I just really don't need you. You're fired. And I realize some of you have jobs that you really, really like, but they just can't pay you the kind of money that you would like to have. So you have to have something else so that you can build your financial future. And if you're one of those people that's looking to change your financial future, you really need to take a strong look at what we're doing here with this business. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So what are you going to do right now that will change your lifestyle?